Alright, what's up boys? Today we're back with another video. This is going to be an interesting one. Um this is going to be 5 things EA done wrong in UFC 5. And this is just off of the beta that I had played for a 7-day period. So I kind of, gathered a list of things that, I believe EA done wrong and could have done better in the beta. And I feel like this is, things people largely would agree with. I'm just going to be doing this while, you're watching some of my UFC 4 gameplay. Because obviously I cannot show off any of the beta gameplay, sadly, because it was a closed beta. So, one thing I feel like they done wrong, the first thing, and this is one of the biggest I feel, if you have played the UFC 5 beta, I'm sure you'd largely agree, the spin inputs. So, if you're trying to throw any spinning attack, the inputs are really janky now in UFC 5. I'm not even sure how to throw all the spin attacks, but you have to hit one of the uppercut buttons, whether it be X and A, B and Y, something like that. And then after that, you have to input another button to actually input what, sort of strike you want. So if you put, I think it was A and B, or B and X, or B and A, should I say, and then you had to press X, that was like a spinning elbow. Point being, you can tell how difficult that would be to combo things, an uppercut button plus another button on the end of it. Plus, if you're wanting to combo into it, you're going to pressing buttons even beforehand. And it's just, it's a difficult one to do. So that's the first thing. I believe EA should maybe, go back to a legacy kind of control scheme as there is on the ground. Whenever you're grappling, you'll notice, at the start of the game, you get legacy control for the grappling, which aren't the assisted ones, so you can fully see every position, but it's not as complex if you're not a beginner. And then another thing here is the stamina they really done wrong in UFC 5. And just another thing I will be doing in EA, things EA done also right. So yeah, let's get into it. But the stamina, you have way too much stamina, as I said. I feel like in UFC 5, hitting the body, because you just doesn't take much stamina. You just have unlimited stamina no matter what you want to do. By the end of the fight, your opponent will be dead no matter what you throw, unless you're literally missing every single spinning wheel kick you do, even if you can do them with the butchered spinning inputs. um yeah, you just can constantly throw and there's no real punishment for it at all, you know. So that is probably one of the biggest things. I really hope when UFC 5 fully comes out that they will have kind of nerfed the stamina, and it rewards you for hitting the body a little bit more, and also playing just smarter, playing like an actual player with thoughts in his head instead of just running forward aimlessly. But then another thing that I feel like they've done wrong and could have improved on in UFC 4 was the takedowns. Um, every single takedown is the same, and they're all far too easy to deny if you're coming up against a player with half a brain. A player Div 15 and above, you're gonna really struggle to get down no matter what takedowns you're using, unless you're double bail ling, and you're cheesing your opponent. There's no real way to get them down in a clean fashion, and if you do, it's probably after about 13 denials, and you catch them when they've just low stamina. So that is another thing. I hope in UFC 5, when the game is fully out, they'll add some new animations. They'll add some new kind of um entries to takedowns. They'll add some new denials. So obviously you have to deny a different takedown a certain way, like the ankle pick, um, stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully in UFC 5 they'll have more improved takedowns. So if you're a grappler out there like myself, I like my striking too, but there'll be more ways to get your opponent down to the mat and do some damage. So the fourth thing now on the list um would be the overhand counters. This is really one thing they need fixed, is the overhand counters. They are very quick on the ground, or they are very quick, sorry. So whether you be using the pullback into an overhand, or if you're using duck into an overhand. For some reason in UFC 5 they improved the overhands a lot, and that is no it is no exemption to the counters. You can even counter with them now, and you didn't need no strike in front of them. So yeah, that is just another thing they really need fixed. If you came up against your decent player in UFC 5, you'll probably notice they were pulling back after they pulled on your shot and thrown an overhand, and you'll notice how quick and powerful it is. So you can just catch your opponent, just stun them, drop them, whatever it is, it's just too much of an issue. So yeah, hopefully when UFC 5 is released, they will have kind of nerfed the overhand slightly, because it is just too annoying to deal with. And now, last but not least, HUD watching is still a thing. That's just good. That's something I'm just mentioning. I do believe that is going to get fixed though, so I'm not going to make that a main point. But the bodywork in UFC 5 seems kind of pointless. I feel like, it doesn't do enough damage, and even if you do think enough damage, it doesn't take up enough stamina. I know that has to kind of plays into stamina as well as that, but I feel like they don't reward you enough in this game with body stuns if you get a nice counter. Like, it is much easier just to go out there and target that head than it is the body. I feel like there needs to be more hit reactions to the body, and not only that, I feel like when you counter and you hit them to the body, I feel like it needs to, create more stuns and more body drops as well, and maybe you can follow your opponent to the ground. And obviously just plays into the stamina thing as well. If I hit my opponent to the body when they have low stamina, it should be taken more than it does. But yeah, definitely body damage a big issue, and I really hope they fix that in UFC 5 as well when the full game is released. But yeah, not all negatives, as you'll see. I will be releasing 5 things EA done right in UFC 5 next. But if you have liked the video, a like would be appreciated. Let me know what you think they've done wrong, or could improve on in the fully released version of the game. And yeah, let us know in the comments. And yeah, if you've liked, as I said, a like would be appreciated. And if you have not already subscribed, I'd be much recommended do so. I'm going to be releasing a lot of content coming into UFC 5, of course. I'm going to release videos and streams all the way up until UFC 5, and then I have a little holiday, sadly. But I will be releasing videos all throughout the week, just no live streams for the few days up until UFC 5. But after that, we'll be back on the grind, just banging out some UFC 5. And yeah, boys, appreciate us all for watching once again. Thanking you. Peace out.